tell, Director.
Investigations. What?
Hello? Anyone here?
Guess not.
Yes, not indeed. Missing agents. Mr. Kirkland. Here are the latest agents confirmed missing, presumed dead, from the containment breach yesterday. Agent Jonathan Connor, researcher Ezra Cruz, Agent Caroline Dempsey, Agent Lindsay Malcolm, Agent Charles Murray, Agent Derek Shaw. Letters of condolence will be delivered to you sign prior to sending them to their families. You will be updated as soon as additional confirmations are made. Also, per your request, a network engineer checked how many cases were backed up digitally. Fortunately, a large number of active investigations were not archived yet. And only the hard copies of reports exist behind the firebreak. They're lost, I'm afraid. Okay.
Seems a lot more crowded than the rest of the world.
We stopped at Keystone on our way to the target AWE. Like you asked, I'm sending my report directly to you to try to keep a lid on this Grumman Morales desertion issue. We didn't find any sign of them here. Given their records, it's possible they've switched teams like you suspected. But I don't think that's the case. An event definitely occurred here in the Keystone. And I think Grumman and Morales got caught up in it. The entire population has vanished into thin air. Reminds me of the Ordinary case. But that was just the adults, if I'm remembering the file correctly. This is different. I think our guys are casualties, not traitors. If it was an AWE, it seems over. We walked through the whole town, and the only strange thing we noticed were markings on various buildings. 2 overlapping circles with a dot in the shared space. Could be unrelated, but I'll show you the pictures when I get back. In the meantime, you should send a team out here to cordon this place off, and maybe get the comms guys working on a cover story. Sincerely, Agent Keenum. So it seems like they thought those agents defected to the enemy side, whatever that means. I'm assuming Russians. Per authorization from Mr. Kirkland, internal investigation P-142-9 was launched into the legality of the Prime Candidate Program, redacted by the Federal Bureau of Control. Since all known subjects relevant to the investigation used executive privilege to decline interviews, very little first-hand information was gathered. What's up, Shinobi? How you doing? However, anonymous sources and documentation declassified by Mr. Kirkland both paint an alarming clear picture of systematic, redacted, and redacted. Redacted were brought into the oldest house and placed under redacted examination and testing with the aim of appointing one as director upon maturity. This program has produced no successful cases and only resulted in the traumatic redacted of paranaturally inclined redacted. Not only is this a breach of the Ash Act, but it flies in the face of basic human redacted. This investigation team unequivocally redacted the Prime Candidate Program and recommends that it be redacted immediately. Tractor procedures. This item is not in Bureau custody, not known. A Frank Elk tractor, olive green. Dried blood on the grill when last seen. Item is capable of vocalized responses or growls. An unmanned locomotion. Considered highly aggressive and dangerous. The item first came to the Bureau's attention after the death of William Burrow, owner of Burrow Farms outside of Trenton, Texas. Local authorities arrived on scene after an employee found the mutilated body of Mr. Burrow beneath his tractor. Police arrived, but were immediately driven away by the tractor. Panicked calls to federal authorities were intercepted by Bureau communication staff. A team was dispatched. Upon arrival, the agents approached the item. They responded by growling like a bear. 3 agents were injured when they tried to detain the item, which escaped. Aerial searches for the item are ongoing. Speaking to Miss Burrow only revealed that she had a domestic altercation with Mr. Burrow earlier the night of the incident. Whether these events are connected is currently unknown. Hey, Legacy. Clean the glasses. Good enough. There we go. So I'm guessing Burrow, Texas is, or what town was it? Something, Texas. Miscommunication led to a local coroner examining the body of William Burrow. 33-year-old man found dead on his property, per police report. Remains obtained for coroner's office also include blood, urine, bile, stomach contents, and bone fragments. And that's supposed to be from the coroner's office. Blunt force injuries, head. Lacerations, left ear and cheek. Blunt force injuries, extremities. Dislocation, right knee. Complete avulsion of the right upper extremity with associated fracture of the proximal right humerus. Extensive trauma, abdominal region. Complete avulsion of multiple organs, including stomach, heart, liver, pancreas, kidneys, and portions of the large and small intestine. All missing from the scene. It is my opinion that Mr. Burrow's death is not the result of a mechanical accident as claimed by authorities. The removal of organs is consistent with animal attack. So is the tractor possessed by a spirit of a bear? To whom it may concern, it is with great anger I regret that I tender my resignation as head of investigations for the Federal Bureau of Control. I do this in protest of the rampant disregard for my department's redacted. My staff cannot continue to work in these conditions. Previous requests and warnings have fallen on deaf ears, so I must now rely on my actions to speak louder than my words ever could. I blame the situation on our redacted, who has routinely ignored my request for assistance in reclaiming the parts of the investigation sector lost to the redacted, loose inside. I will never forget the screams of brave agents begging for us to open that fire break. I will carry that shame for the rest of my days. The redacted has failed its agents. I will never forgive him for that. William Kirkland. Staffing issue. Mr. Dennis. So yes, there's an increase in AWE cases, and yes, it could be a good idea to put together a special task force to examine exactly why that is. However, it seems that a tiny little detail has slipped through the cracks. We don't have the damn staff. If you expect us to detect, investigate, and process more AWE cases, you need to give us more people. It's simple math. Between the staff we lost at the Hartman thing and the ones who left for other departments after Kirkland quit, we're barely managing to keep up with the workload. Hell, just filing the paperwork for all the altered items we left behind in the sector has been an ordeal. Another thing, and this is going to sound paradoxical, but we have an overcrowding situation. This lobby isn't meant to accommodate a whole sector's worth of staff. We put forward a motion to move investigations to a more suitable location months ago. It better not still be sitting on your desk. The people are getting restless, and as Kirkland's interim replacement, it's your job to handle it. 8 more hours till bio. Wouldn't it be 11 more? Or no. Hold up. 8 hours would put it at 10 a.m. my time. What time zone are you in? Well, this article I'm seeing right now is... Oh, yeah. You're on console, aren't you? So it's 10 a.m. Eastern for consoles. PC players has to wait until 1 p.m. Yeah. Cauldron Lake. To Chief Investigator Dennis. It happened again, third time this year. Something certainly has it out for our redacted. Could be raccoons. The locals certainly complain about them enough. But why the hell would raccoons keep going after a monitoring station? Doesn't add up. Anyway, I've got a bureau tech going to the site next week to take a look. Next on the list of recurring problems is the staff at the Lake House Research Station. How am I supposed to effectively keep an eye on Redacted Lake if they won't let me see any data? Hell, I don't even know what they're researching out there. We need to petition them again to share their info with investigations agents. It's only a matter of time before this Redacted hits again, and I want to be prepared. Anyway, if anyone in HQ asks why the Bright Falls report is a little thin this month, tell them it's because we couldn't take any readings. In the meantime, I might invest in some raccoon traps. Foiled again. Dr. Rhea Underhill is a professor at the University of Woodrow in the United Kingdom, where she teaches biology with a focus on botany. Dr. Underhill once worked with the Bureau as a parabotanist stationed at the research sector of the oldest house. She served with no incidents or demerits and is praised by those who formerly worked with her, including Dr. Darling. Dr. Underhill has no known connections to paracriminal organizations or any record of breaching her NDAs since leaving the Bureau. Her civilian behavior has been ideal, with the exception of an ongoing personal relationship with Dr. Darling that appears to have begun during their time as co-workers in the research sector, and revisited intermittently ever since. Depending on the duration of her work in the oldest house, it may be required to have both parties sign a relationship clearance form. This investigation has found no compelling reason to deny Dr. Darling's request to offer Dr. Underhill an interim position with the aim of finding a solution to the mold threshold issue. Okay. So Darling and Underhill used to bump uglies. Got it. A lot of redacted in this one. Per authorization from Mr. Kirkland, Redacted was launched into the redacted of the Director Zachariah Trench. A recent change in Redacted witnessed in Director Trench, including aggressive redacted when redacted with other staff, has been observed. However, this investigation is aimed at interpreting this issue rather than proving it. Notable redacted between Director Trench and Dr. Darling has been witnessed by numerous Bureau staff, although both declined to meet for an interview on the matter. Witness accounts suggest their arguments center around the Dimensional Research Wing and the redacted kept inside. However, no evidence exists to confirm Director Trench's redacted as anything more than interpersonal disagreements. This investigation has concluded that Director Trench's behavior is not indicative of any redacted and that his fitness to lead is not in question. That can't be right. I mean, he was very clearly under the influence of the hiss. So I don't know. Seems a bit suspicious. Know what I mean? Maybe they just weren't looking close enough. But they were giving him the benefit of the doubt. No? Kirkland, I'm growing tired of your blatant attempts to lay your incompetence at my doorstep. I know you want this to be true, but you're our head of investigations. This failure is your responsibility. What did you think would happen? Holding a dangerous specimen in investigations. The containment sector exists for a reason. They are better trained and better equipped for this type of work. In fact, they have admirably taken certain AWE monitoring responsibilities that your staff are no longer capable of. This happens more and more now. I don't think your petty internal investigations have gone past my notice. You are a worm. Everything I've done has been for the benefit of the Bureau. The Prime Candidate program only failed because of Darling. You're both failures plotting against me. You're traitors, but the truth will emerge out of you. You are choosing to become my enemy, Kirkland. You don't want to be. Zachariah Trench. A lot of reading in this first room. Per authorization from Mr. Kirkland, Internal Investigation D084-5 was launched into the ethical practices of Dr. Casper Darling, Head of Research. Despite the accounts of anonymous redacted regarding inhumane treatment of a redacted currently housed in the Bureau, our current findings regarding this were inconclusive. It's getting juicy, yeah. Despite the numerous obstacles arose during the investigation, the majority of redacted sector personnel seemed to be wholly unaware of any such redacted contained there. One, Redacted, confirmed the Redacted's codename to be Redacted, but all files pertaining to that name were inaccessible, being classified under the highest clearance level. Investigators were similarly blocked from entering the Redacted research wing to interview its staff. The matter was further complicated by the lack of clarity on whether non-human paranatural entities warrant humane treatment. While this investigation cannot address any changes against Dr. Darling, we do recommend an investigation into Redacted research. Interdimensional, maybe? Mr. Dennis. A request came through recently from an FBI agent asking for all our files on Bright Falls, specifically on the disappearance of the author, Alan Wake. For the Interagency Information Exchange Agreement, I had some paper pushers gather up a folder of all the pre-approved files. Don't worry, all the inappropriate material is missing or redacted. But I'm writing you to let you know we received this request from a special agent named Alex Casey. Sounds familiar, right? That's because Alex Casey is the name of the fictional detective in those hard-boiled crime books Alan Wake wrote. Pretty interesting that an FBI agent sharing a name with the utmost famous character Wake wrote is looking into a case dealing with a writer's fiction coming true. I think it's worth looking into, but what's your opinion? Just give the word and I'll start surveillance on the guy. Alright, I think that's everything in here. And we don't have a power core. All right. Next.
It's not working.
Of course it's not.
Probably a loose power core somewhere.
Or, you know, missing. Okay. So we just replace.
There. Now that gate should open.
The purpose of internal investigation X039-7 is to examine the containment failure of specimen SI-1 that resulted in the deaths of redacted agents. An inspection report of the containment equipment 3 days earlier showed no faults. The investigators suspect human error to be the cause, but no department has provided any evidence to support this. Technicians were able to recover the researchers' notes on the specimen from the internal network. On the redacted of redacted, cross-referencing that date with various logs only found 2 events inconsistent with the director's daily routine. The air filters were changed, and 2, an hour prior to the incident, a civilian named Alice Redacted entered the sector regarding an unrelated investigation. Given their connection to the same AWE case, it's likely that Miss Redacted's presence is relevant to the specimen's escape and to the Redacted. Investigation is ongoing.
I'm no detective, but something definitely happened here.
No shit, we gave it away. Ow. That's one way to get some combat in the game, right? This group / individuals has operated outside the Bureau's notice for decades. This is the Blessed organization. They did the movie camera. They're the ones that sent the Bureau that camera. Perhaps longer. Displaying a level of skill and caution rarely seen in paracriminal groups. A review of past cases has found various mentions of their activity over the years. In 2016, a production company called Blessed Pictures was connected to an altered item case as well as the death of an agent from an exposure to illicit paranatural materials. In 1994, a Los Angeles-based public speaker named Chester Bless was involved in the illegal use of an altered item. In 1988, a business called Blessed Repair and Reservice was suspected of involvement with an object of power case, perhaps even creating it. None of these businesses or individuals have ever been located. However, their connection to appearances of altered items and objects of power is too direct to be considered circumstantial. An arrest order has been issued for any persons believed to be involved with the Blessed organization. I guess we're going to the motel.
Do we know each other? This feels familiar. I can't seem to... I've forgotten it. I'm sorry. My name is Alan Wake. Who are you? Who are you? Do I know you?
I'm your friend Tom. Tom Zane. There's nothing to worry about.
Tom.
Thomas Zane was the name of the poet that
The diver, you look different.
That was just
Jesse
a role,
recited a poem of
character.
in psychology.
Protagonist I played in my old film. I'm a filmmaker. An auteur like yourself. We're working on this together, remember? An artistic collaboration. You need a drink. Gibbish.
Endless darkness. Nothing holds still.
But we're very close now. You've been writing. You found a way to escape. It'll work this time.
Riding?
You found a way!
No. I don't... Wait. There's something. It's my double. He's out there. I've seen him.
Yeah. Nothing to worry about. I'm dealing with it. It's fine, my friend. Let me handle him.
You've met him? What the hell?
Now, come on. You misunderstand me.
Okay.
That was Alan Wake, the writer who went missing in that AWE case I read about. What's he doing here? And Thomas Zane was with him. The poet. No, wait. He was a filmmaker. I always remember that wrong.
But it's no longer daytime. It was daytime every time we came here before. The fuck? Not creepy at all. Okay.
Dr. Emil Hartman, devoured by hungry darkness, became the thing that had been Hartman. Broke loose, killed everyone it could, lurking, roaming, waiting. Then something else came, a resonance. The thing that had been Hartman went through another change.
Okay.
Dr. Emil Hartman was desperate. The Federal Bureau of Control had stolen his life's work. This was his last chance, his final experiment. What he'd been too scared to do before. Hartman dove into the lake, was taken, devoured by hungry darkness, became the thing that had been Hartman. Only an echo of him remained, fragmented impulses on autoplay, violent, bloodthirsty darkness in the driver's seat. Emerging from the lake, the thing was captured by the FBC, brought in, contained, studied. The thing broke loose, killed everyone it could. The FBC fell back and sealed the sector. The thing was alone in the dark, lurking, roaming.
Hey, it's A.
waiting. Then something
How you
else
doing?
came. Not darkness, but similar enough. A sound. A resonance. It shouldn't be a surprise. If there's one, why not another? The darkness inside the thing could have been immune, could have resisted, fought, could have been passed by, passed through with no effect. But it didn't, and it wasn't. Maybe it had grown weaker over time, not aged. It was timeless, but weaker with no link to its source. A metamorphosis followed. The thing that had been Hartman went through another change.
All right. Back to the Bureau. Okay. Oh, great. Those giant post-it notes? Tarps. Let's see what's on the other side first. Oh, wow. I don't think he made it.
Creepy, damp, and abandoned.
Great.
Why did Wake want me to come here?
Oh. Great. This is normal.
That doesn't look like a house shift.
Nope.
Do I even want to know?
Probably not. All right, here we go.
The hiss are already in here.
Of course. Hello. My feet gossip at night, and now I have to wear shoes to bed. Sincerely, me. All right. Hartman arrest. Emil Hartman. Victim's name, Alan Wake. Tor Anderson. Odin Anderson. Redacted. Rudolph Lane. Wendy Dessel. Thomas Emerson. Redacted. Special Agent Remy Dennis. Charges. Code 4. Kidnapping of altered individuals. Code 8. Sanctions against altered organizations. Code 37. Obstruction of Bureau investigation. Code 74. Breaching of the Ash Act. Offender's property seized as evidence to be used in conjunction with an ongoing AWE investigation. Offender's personal effects have been sent to research for analysis. After being cleared by Bureau researchers, all victims have been released. Biannual surveillance orders were assigned to each, except the Anderson brothers, due to their senility, and Wake, possibly deceased. I'm going to go out on the limb and say that Alan Wake is not deceased. I think this entire game is nothing more than Alan Wake writing another novel. Blood.
This darkness is blocking the door, so now I have to deal with an interdimensional noise and sentient shadows.
Guess so. Aim a powerful light.
Light burns it away, huh? Makes sense.
Okay. Guess there's nothing else here. Hey, Roscoe. Oops. Orange peel. Construct surge. Construct surge. Sure. Okay.
The third thing. The sound made darker, the darkness made louder. Hartman was stretched, like a worm through time. The third thing was a monster. Now he crashed out of darkness towards me.
What? Yep, I did figure out a way to start the DLCs. It's called buying them. Apparently, the Ultimate Edition I got from Humble Bundle was just the standard edition of the game, I found out, and didn't include the DLCs, so I picked up the DLCs. Yeah, apparently it's due to an issue with the developers, I believe, where they made it so there is no standard control you can buy. The only thing you can buy is the Ultimate Edition, but there's no just control SKU, I guess. They gave it away for free on Humble Bundle as well. It's just, didn't include the DLCs. But I picked up both of them from Humble Bundle for like less than $10. Well, like if you buy the Ultimate Edition through Steam, you're going to get the DLCs. It's just what was offered from Humble Bundle was just the standard base game. Reviews are pretty bad. Yeah, but I don't give a shit about anyone else's opinion. What I have seen, the biggest complaint I've seen that I could agree with without having played the game yet is that it costs $60. Well, I haven't played Biomutant yet. I don't have early access. Not surprised. It's a big open world game made by a 20-person team and their first big title. We'll play it, but I've got some Nautica and Mass Effect bundle, and I'll check Biomutant after some patches. Well, for me, it's 1 p.m. 10 is consoles release time, and 1 p.m. Eastern is the PC release. So we'll be playing it tomorrow on tomorrow night's stream, or the next stream. Yeah, you know what I mean. I have no idea. Probably. I mean, pretty much every game has a day one patch. Following the NASA FBC Coordination Agreement of 1972, the Bureau has provided NASA with numerous technological advancements based on our research, including the black rock lining now found in all spacefaring vessels. In return, all NASA gathered during space missions is made available for Bureau researchers to analyze. Recently, certain individuals have raised concern that this relationship does not adequately benefit the Bureau, either intellectually or financially. A thorough examination of the costs accrued by both organizations has shown that the expense of NASA's recent launch of the REDACTED far outweighs any spending related to the processing and delivery of BlackRock. From its medium Earth orbit, the REDACTED will provide the Bureau with an unparalleled resource for remotely monitoring and photographing AWE sites, a resource that would be lost if the partnership ends. It is the opinion of this committee that maintaining a cooperative relationship with our colleagues at NASA is of vital importance. I mean, the issues I've seen people reporting are non-issues for me, so it doesn't bother me. Yeah, we'll be shooting every vending machine we see now. Because that was kind of nutty. In the best of ways.
My understanding of the darkness is fragmented, incomplete. This abyss, this void, it very much does not wish to be understood. If light symbolizes knowledge, then it stands to reason that darkness would equate to ignorance. By its very nature, it abhors comprehension. Of course, my own nature drives me to comprehend all. We are opposing forces, destined to collide. And given this conflict of natures, we know that the light of truth will burn away the darkness, both figuratively and literally. Any significant light source can be used as protection, even weaponry against this metaphysical gloom. And then there are the artists. I know for a fact that Tom, Wake, the Anderson brothers, and Lane all had some involvement with the darkness. The question is whether their uncanny ability to affect reality through their art beckons the darkness, or did their work perhaps even create it? With Wake now secure in my lodge, I expect I shall grow closer to learning the answers to these questions. Assuming he cooperates, which is proving quite the challenge. Well, perseverance is the foundation of knowledge. Speaking of, I must be off on my rounds.
Enemy AI and lack of enemies concerns me. I mean, somewhat is concerning, but not much. I mean, there's vast open world games that have central points of enemy density, and it's mostly empty in between. But yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed Gothic and Risen. I haven't played Elix yet, but that's what I've heard as well, Ryan. The complaints I've heard from people, it leads me to agree with one criticism about the game, that it shouldn't have been $60. So, but as I've said about everything I've played recently that ended up having bad launches, as long as I get my money's worth, I'm fine with it. Yeah, go ahead. I mean, I don't put stock in game reviewers' opinions, so I only trust my own opinion. Yeah, I've heard ACG. As a reputable reviewer, but like I said, the best reviewer is your own opinion. So ACG has good wordplay. Yeah, an Outrider patch is supposed to be dropping later today, but I think it'll be a while before we check it out. But hopefully, as Boz said, they fix the damage bugs. And without breaking other things. Paranatural entity A-010, aka the Shadow, is an aggressive redacted consisting of 3 known types. Type A, localized manifestations of sentient redacted, capable of occupying organic and inorganic material, as well as exerting redacted over its surroundings. Shaded individuals, human bodies, redacted by the Shadow. These individuals become notably more aggressive, but do seem to retain redacted of their previous selves. Research is ongoing as to whether this condition is reversible. You can't play them all, but if you're interested in a game, play it, and you don't have to play them all. Just play what interests you. I prefer watching like gameplay footage without the skewed opinion or biased opinion or just the opinion of someone else. I'd rather just watch the gameplay footage without anyone's opinion over the top of it. Doesn't give numbers in his review. That's a huge plus because I think that makes it even more subjective of an opinion than opinions. Like game reviews themselves are subjective opinions based on their experience as it is, but applying a ranking system makes it even more contrived in my opinion. Mostly just highlighting strengths and weaknesses. Also avoid spoilers. But I'm at the point right now Well, I'm going to be playing the game in like at least all the way through once before even considering moving on to something else. So a person's review is pointless to me. You know? Because what's a 10 to them and what's a 10 to you exactly? We talking Destiny 1 or Destiny 2, Emilior? I never played Destiny 1. Faced with a lot of problems today with reviews. They're either paid by companies making the product or their competitor who pays to dump on the game so to elevate their own product. And yeah. Democratization of content and media on internet and influence is amplified by this by 1,000-fold. Yeah, that's why I don't trust anyone's review, because you don't know if they were paid to write a review skewed a certain way, and you'll never know, because if they did take such an agreement, it would be under an NDA. That's why I don't trust anyone's opinion. I'm forever a skeptic. See, for me, I can't rate Destiny 1 because I never played it. Heard good things about it. Destiny 2, I'd rate it middle of the road, 5. It's a average experience. Now we might revisit Destiny 2 in the future, but I like Co-Carnage in general. But I don't watch his thoughts videos to make an opinion about a game that I plan on playing. I will watch the gameplay footage of him playing it and base my opinion off that, if I'm on the fence about something. ACG doesn't accept money. If he gets a free review copy, he still buys the game and gives it away to the community. If that's true, that's great. But still, it doesn't change that I would rather base my opinion off the gameplay footage rather than someone's commentary and opinion over it. Can't trust anyone, true. I mean, that could be just what he tells people. Because unfortunately, like Bob said, you can't trust anyone. Bottom line is they're all doing it for the money. At the end of the day, yes. Well, kill them. That just means that your opinion skews more in line with what ACG says. Doesn't mean that his opinion is infallible or always right. It just means that your opinion tends to skew more on his side of things, which is great for you and him as a viewer slash consumer and a reviewer, because it means that you can trust his opinion for to be more in line with what you look for. Understandable. In which case, that's what most people should do when looking for a reviewer they can trust, which I know, Killam, you vet your reviewers thoroughly. I know you do. But too many people just look at headlines of reviews or just the number score and base it entirely off that. Or a Reddit post saying, oh, the reviews are bad. And then they just parrot it. Reviews are bad. Reviews are bad. Reviews are bad. Fuck people. To some extent, it lets you make your own up your own mind. Regardless, if Drast wanted to, he could watch the review and start setting if what the reviewer says matches his experience when playing the game. Yeah, but if you do that for one review of the game, you have to do it for all of them, and that ain't nobody got time for that. Why they call them influencers. Yeah, true. I mean, how many times during my stint of playing Outriders, from the demo through my entire time in the full release, that's what, 2.5 months? How many times people came in chat asking, is this worth buying? Is the game good? What's your opinion? I'm a small streamer. By all standards. That's why I kind of stopped saying, yes, it's good, buy it. It's more, if you like this, or this, or this kind of mechanic, or this kind of mechanic, you probably will enjoy it. I definitely don't think giving a blanket statement is a good idea for any game. Drast got me to play Subnautica, and it's one of my favorite games ever. But it wasn't so much so. I mean, you basically just watched me play Subnautica Below Zero, which isn't even the game you're playing right now. You're playing the first one. But by watching the gameplay, you saw that you would likely enjoy it. Enough to where it got your interest, and the fact that Subnautica was free on the Game Pass, so you had nothing to risk. The most responsible thing is, if you're not paid to play, paid is to say, I like this, and personally, if you like that type of stuff, it will most likely be worth it to you. If not, you should probably pass. I wouldn't say probably pass. I would say look more into it. Because just because you don't like this one thing that this game has, doesn't mean there's not a completely different mechanic or part of the game that you will absolutely love and make it a great game for you. That's why I don't take stock in other people's opinion, because they found something that they didn't like, latched onto it, and because of the negative slant all media has these days, base that to write a negative review. Yep, exactly, Ryan. That's one thing I love about Co, and I play it the same way. That's why Co is one of my go-tos to watch gameplay footage, because he plays in a similar manner that I do. And again, I'm picky. I choose one game to stick it with it for a long time. Here at 500 plus hours, I'm at 4 something. Let's see. 425.8. So yeah. Oh, if we're including the demo, shit. Okay. Maths. I won't say right now that I'm definitely done with Outriders. It kind of depends on the developers at this point. Because right now they have very little goodwill with the player base, myself included. Oh, there's a ton of stories, especially if you like pick up all these logs and these records and read through them. Ton of it. And then like these little things explain the little flavor details that you see talked about in the game, like through actual narration rather than just reading. Yep. Control has hundreds of codexes. Kind of like a generic Matrix in a way. Yeah, kind of. I would say Matrixy, Scarlet Witchy, Alan Wakey. The paranormal of Alan Wake, because it's in the same universe. Sometimes you really do need to try the game. You're absolutely right. There might be something in it that just sinks its hooks in you. But anyway, back to Control. Shaded objects, similar to Type B, except that inanimate objects are redacted solely to be used as destructive tools. Each type seems to work towards a shared goal, possibly targeting certain individuals, see AWE 35, which may imply a shared link to redacted intelligence. The threat this entity poses warrants immediate exploration of offensive/defensive measures. The investigation sector is being outfitted with additional lighting sources, some internally powered, to prepare for the eventuality of a redacted.
The resonance carves its way through the thing that had been Artman, vibrating, remolding. The sound changes the darkness, and the darkness changes the sound. They both changed what remained of Artman. They all turned into something else. A third thing. The sound made darker. The darkness
Later,
made
kill him.
louder. Hartman was stretched. Stretched as anyone when seen from out of time, like a worm through time. Almost an Ouroboros, a spiral, a maelstrom. The gravity well of a black hole, twisting inward, tightening, taking you deeper and deeper to the bottom, the heart, and through to the other side. The third thing said, when you hear this, you will know you're in new you. He said, we build you till nothing remains. He said, under the conceptual reality behind this reality, you must want these ways to drag you away. He said, baby, 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 yeah, orange peel. The third thing was a monster. he'd tear apart any ordinary person crossing his path. Now he crashed out of darkness toward Faden. There was nothing ordinary about Faden.
Orange peel. Okay. Kinda weird. Not gonna lie. The Eagle Limited. A train derailment causing 62 casualties and numerous injuries was suspected to have been the work of a paracriminal group known as REDACTED. As a result of this event, the agents discovered that one of the cars had become altered with a persistent auditory event. It remains to be determined whether the AWE was spontaneous or the direct result of the sabotage. The Bureau had been tracking the said group at the time, and the intel gathered suggested that an event of this caliber was imminent in Bloomington. As a result, a response team on site was able to respond to the train accident within minutes of its occurrence. They arrived to find emergency processes underway, but also the equipment left behind by the suspected group. A suspicious onlooker managed to elude agents after they attempted to make contact. Further investigation of the accident site revealed a curiously undamaged train car that exhibited an altered state when entered. This individual car was secured and transported to the investigation sector for further studies. You're gonna cry? Why? Hey, we have lights. Baby, baby, baby. Yeah. Orange peel. I generally don't like base building, but I love it in Subnautica. An example of each game is unique, and you might like a particular game even if the genre isn't your thing. Never played survival or base building games and such, but I love Subnautica. Because it's underwater, it gives it a different feel, you know? That's my take on it. How are we getting on in AWE? We're very early in it. Very, very early. Black market hubs, but we found one of the vending machines, by the way. Interesting. Fallout 76, like, yeah, I like the base building there too. I just didn't like how they item shopped everything. Microtransaction the hell out of people. Yeah. The world is unique. Mm-hmm. A black market hub specializing in the trade of occult talismans, relics, and other assorted ceremonial objects, as well as genuine, altered, and paranatural materials, was raided and redacted. Czech Republic by a team of special investigators. Unsuccessful attempts by suspects to escape using altered items resulted in numerous casualties and prevented the Bureau from questioning all participants. The following interrogations revealed that not only is there a vast network of these retailers, but they seem to be gathering information on altered items and other paranatural materials from sources unknown to the Bureau. The Bureau's concern here is threefold. There's a growing underground market for paranatural materials, which implies a growing awareness of their existence among niche groups of the general public. These criminal individuals do not seem aware of the item's paranatural powers, and their attempts to activate them could prove devastating if done in populated areas. The motivation of these collectors are largely unknown. Yep, if you have Game Pass, I highly recommend checking out Subnautica because you risk nothing by doing so. And it's an amazing game to me. Weird. Yes, Game Pass. There is a PC version of Game Pass, but not everything that's on Xbox Game Pass is on PC Game Pass. That's how it was with Outriders. I mean, we can see if Subnautica is on the PC Game Pass. I think it is. Yes, it is. It is on the PC Game Pass. Yep, it's a limited time. You can join for $1. Yeah. I think it's like $10 a month, for at least the version I have. Oh, we have to update. Yeah. It's for free on PC Game Pass as well. Kirkland, so you put me on desk duty just because I did the thing I was fucking hired to do. My job. You want to know what I call that? Bullshit. Asking us to interrogate these scum without using words like altered items or AWEs or paracriminal is the stupidest thing I've heard in my life, and I've heard some fucking stupid things. They already know the facts. Hell, they know just as much as us, if not more. And they got to sit there laughing at us while we danced around our words, trying not to leak classified terminology. They already know the fucking terminology. You think pulling me off the case will stop me, then think again. That piece of shit blew up those tracks. He killed those people, all to make a train turn altered. We have him dead to rights, and you need to let me back in that interrogation cell so I can get him to flip on his buddies. These people are terrorists and deserve to be treated as such. This won't stop unless we stop them. You can go ahead and put me on suspension. See if that slows me down. Agent Hewitt.
Agent Fisher, day 6 inside the motel. Utilized surveillance methods are as follows. Fiber optic cameras slid under the individual room doors. Motion detectors in the lobby area. Tripwire, triggering a flash camera across the main entrance. Even fingerprint powder on the front desk. Results are varying at best. But mostly just inconclusive and unusable. The footage is corrupted. Sometimes even the equipment is damaged. I don't know how, exactly. I think this place is making fun of me. That's the only explanation.
It's mocking you. It's taunting you.
Behind the closed doors. I could hear the call bell go and ding multiple times a day, but when I look, there's no one there. I know I'm supposed to stay out of sight, but I've seen the doors closing just before I can catch even a glimpse of anyone or anything. They're messing with me, whoever they are. I think... Wait, shh. There's something. I gotta get this... Gotta get the cable out. Come on, you fiber optic fuck, cooperate. Okay, there we go. All right, that was faint, but I definitely heard movement coming from the hallway. I think I might have finally caught one. Ha! The recording
Hey,
better work
creepin'.
this time, or I swear to God, I'll... What? Hello? Who's there? Oh, shit. I'm with the FBC. Move away from the door. I have a... Where's my...
Is there more? Guess not. Okay. That's where we came from. Oh. Hati's giving us...
Here have died standing up. Lighten them up. The air in here is getting bad. The vents, they are full of mold shit. It's not good for you.
I inadvertently already did one in one area.
Darkness everywhere. New day, same old bloody shit, said the old lady. Like tar but good for nothing. Get rid of it.
All right. Any more vending machines? What's up, Puddin'? What's in this room over here? Oh.
Reminder, all employees
I've seen a little
are
bit on
required to report their
Biomutant.
hours at the end of each month. The Federal Bureau of Control maintains that time is not
Yeah, we'll be
subjective,
playing that on our
and
next
hours
stream.
passed on alternative
Biomutant, that
planes
is.
cannot be claimed. Astral dives do not accumulate overtime compensation. Thank you for your attention.
I wouldn't say I'm excited for the new Outriders patch. I'm hopeful that they fix something without breaking other things. Alright. So not this way. We're gonna have to go up here, I think. Maybe. Maybe not. Alright, so we gotta figure out how to open this door. Well, it's already been delayed, but the fact that they've already announced it, I don't think we're going to get a delay from this point. It's basically just going to be a matter of if the patch works and works as intended, or if it breaks other things. Wait, I can't remove it now? Alrighty then. I mean, I feel that they've already passed the make it or break it moment with the game. It'll be, this is the, can they begin to salvage moment. I don't believe any game is beyond redemption and fixing their mistakes and improving their the content. And that make it or break it moment is basically what determines if they have to do that. And they definitely do have to do that. Well, of course. I mean, Square Enix only cares about how much money they can get for their investment for publishing. Oh, this is what we gotta do. Oh, hi. Interesting. Okay. I dig it. Well, the thing that bothered me the most is that it just showed that PCF did not have a proper quality assurance team, or they refused or were unable to pay a firm to do it for them. So, but as you said, that kind of falls to the inexperienced aspect. It's been a while since they patched, so it should be decent. I mean, we waited over a month for the item restoration patch, and that's what brought the mitigation bug that they're now patching, what, 2.5 weeks later, maybe 3. No, mitigation has not been the problem since launch. It was the mitigation issue that they're dealing with is what was created from the last patch.
I don't feel right.
Oh, great.
Something in this darkness is draining me.
So it drains energy, I guess? Yep. Honestly, the whole highlighting new items thing, so minor on the list of issues with Outriders that I don't. If someone didn't mention it to me, I wouldn't have even noticed. Vending machine. Testing in the investigation sector is currently ongoing. A vending machine is front covered in a faux wood panel, coin operated, buttons for selecting food products. The item generates and stores a variety of material, both edible and otherwise, in its rows of internal trays. Initial testing suggests the item reacts to the mind of an individual in the closest proximity and will produce whatever they subconsciously desire. That can be dangerous. Attempts to cause the item to create a living redacted have consistently failed. Living what? The item was discovered in a nursing home in Redacted, Alberta, after a resident named Muriel Redacted called a local news station about a magic vending machine. The news story reported that the nursing home staff were purposefully stocking the machine with distinctive food and objects as a way to raise residents' spirits. The Bureau response team encouraged this story while confiscating the item. Yeah, it's a minor thing, but how do you do it? Yeah. It's like, how does that happen? I see what you're saying. Dr. Emil Hartman is an academic psychotherapist that owned and operated a recovery center in Redacted, Washington, focused on the treatment of artists struggling with creative blocks and other mental disorders. Publicly, Dr. Hartman's treatment center seemed unremarkable in its methods and purpose. Privately, however, Dr. Hartman was abusing his patients in order to utilize any latent redacted abilities they may possess with the aiming of shaping redacted to his own benefit, which has earned him a Class 2 paracriminal designation. For more on the link between artists and their ability to redacted reality through artistic mediums, see File Redacted. Investigations has proven that Dr. Hartman's illegal endeavors were conducted alone after being approached by the Bureau during the redacted investigation. He displayed no remorse or intention to cease his actions. Dr. Hartman was taken into custody, evaluated, and released redacted months later, having been deemed a negligible threat. His medical license has been permanently revoked. Could be related to the chance of inventory wipe to constantly refresh the inventory, but as you said, weird and annoying. Very cool, boss. Alright, so we need to get some power cores. Hey, there's light. Wow. Huge blast radius. One way to light up a room. I wouldn't say the bugs ruined the game for me, but it definitely lessened my enjoyment. There's catwalks up there, man.
Okay, this room is really intimidating and all, but I know my rights. It's not a crime to try and get a book signed.
That's the diplomatic answer to it? That's my honest opinion about it.
Supernatural entity is indeed a bureau offense, Mr. Langston, and can be prosecuted as such.
Okay. Well, I didn't know that. Listen, this is being blown way out of proportion. All that happened is I heard Dr. Hartman had been brought in, and since I'm a huge Alan Wake fan, I thought it'd be cool to get a copy of The Creator's Dilemma signed. That's a book that Hartman wrote about.
We know what it is.
Okay, good. So yeah, I was just looking to fill out my wake collection. I certainly didn't know Hartman had turned into some kind of shadow zombie.
That's a completely inaccurate description.
Whatever, listen, I'm just a desk jockey. I sort papers, do data entry, that kind of stuff. Don't come down on me like this. I made one mistake. I mean, I see people break the rules all the time and no one is pulling them into dark rooms to yell at them. Yesterday, Dave Gleason and his crew were talking to that empty space
Boz.
and laughing their heads off.
We're letting you off with a warning, Mr. Langston. But this is going on your record, so one more screw up and our next chat won't be so friendly.
Great. That is just great to hear, guys. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hey, is there any chance I could get my copy of The Creator's Dilemma back?
Get out.
Not sure if I can get up there or not. Yeah. There's gotta be another way to getting up there later.
Shit. Now what?
Great.
What is that?
Devour my hungry darkness.
Come on, elevator, time to go! So you don't like light. Who is that?
See? That way I always know where you're at. Okay. Yeah, this guy's sexy and he knows it. And it's screenplay. Oh shit. See, I'm missing something. Oh. That.
Yeah, how do you like that?
Sexy Annie knows it. Alright.
Brian Hennerman, 21 years old, resident of Southern Texas.
I'm sorry, ma'am, but I really don't understand why I'm here.
You know what you did, Mr. Hennerman.
I do?
Tell me about Delivery Disaster.
The movie? I mean, it wasn't very good.
That's not what your review said, but we'll come back to that. Tell me where you got the movie from.
Movie night with a K, not an N, not night like nighttime, but
Who contacted you? Who told you to review that film?
no one. I just did it because it looked obscure. I didn't even like the movie. I shouldn't have given such a high score, but reviewing obscure films makes you look smart. And I thought if I looked smart, I would get listeners. My podcast would take off and I could move out of my parents' basement and maybe even go to college and get a film degree like I've always wanted to. I swear. I swear, I swear, I swear.
Okay, the kid doesn't know shit. I'm ending the session.
Door appearance. An excursion into the Ocean View Motel and Casino discovered a previously unseen door in the lobby hallway. This door featured a spiral-shaped marking. Designation, door redacted. Similar to the other doors, it's locked and cannot be forced open. Alice Wake, a person of interest in the Bright Falls AWE, refer to AWE 35 for details, and the former wife of missing author Alan Wake, a suspected para-utilitarian and redacted, contacted agents Shaw and Dempsey of the investigation sector using the phone number given to her in 2010. In accordance with civilian outreach protocols, the call resulted in Mrs. Wake being brought into the oldest house for an in-person interview. For a full transcript, refer to file redacted on Redacted 2017. The excursion into the Ocean View Motel occurred later that same day. Determining whether this was a basic synchronicity event, if Alice Wake is responsible for its appearance, or if the door itself relates to AWE 35 is paramount. She should be returned to the oldest house, possibly even taken to the motel itself to confirm if any other changes occur. We listened to that one. Where's the music coming from?
Arcade machines.
Ah.
Shim. Shoo. Whoa. Whatever.
The goal of crowd control is to survive. Good luck. Oh. I should have controlled this guy. You are mine. You too will be mine. I'm stumped? By what? I put about 35 hours in the base game of Control, and I believe each of the DLCs is about 5 hours each. So I'd say about 40 to 45 hours for all of it. Nice. Aw. I wanted to control that, so maybe it would heal me instead of them. You know? Interesting. So successfully complete one of the arcade modes. What's the other arcade mode? Deadline? Eliminate 50 enemies without letting the timer run out. Nice. There you go. What's up, buddy?
Games are so realistic these days.
Games are so realistic. All right. Eradicate the mold. Let's see. Abandoned offices. It's always a great sign right there. Tell me the story of your name. I assume you're talking about Afflicted Ego, not me, right? Oh, you assumed she was talking about me? Yeah, I assumed it was you. Shine light. Okay, so we have to go pick up a light. Anybody got a light? Oh, son of a whore. Just looking for a light, man. Ow! Fudge. Ooh, control it. Hey, friends. Hey, buddy.
There you go. Doesn't that feel better?
We know your last name? You do? Yeah, there is another Drast. Actually, he's the original Drast, apparently. How do you know my last name? Ah, good point, Ego. Good point. I know there's more plants around here. But you said Drast was your last name? No. Nope.